What up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Matt Wyatt. So I had a chance to get an early access IMAX screening at the AMC theater to see a Warfare that is co-directed by Alex Garland and Ray Mendoza, and it's taking place back in 2006 during the Iraq War, and it's supposed to be taking place in the events in real time through the memories of these American Navy SEAL platoons that were on a surveillance mission that went completely wrong, and all hell breaks loose. This is a movie that I was really looking forward to because I was very hooked by the trailer. It looks very intense, and it looks like it's going to be a heart-pounding experience. Seen through the eyes of the American Navy SEALs, they had to go in the middle of a firefight, in the middle of a chaos, and taking place in one sanctuary in a house with the Iraqi civilians. This was crazy and heart-pounding experience, I will say, after coming out of this theater. Yeah, it's everything that you kind of expected. And this movie is supposed to be an hour and 30 something minutes. And for Ray Medusa, who is a Navy SEAL veteran who had experience in that event, and it's telling through his eyes. And he was the one that is co-directed the film with Alex Garland. And you may have known Alex Garland that had directed Civil War last year, and he had directed Ex Machina, Annihilation, and he also did the screenplay for 28 Days Later. The Annihilation was my least favorite of his movies, but a lot of the movies that he made were really damn good. And Ray Medusa was a consultant on the set of Civil War that tried to make the battle sequences more authentic as possible, especially when you're seeing a crafted firefight. And for this movie, they make sure that he stays authentic as possible and stay accurate into what it's like to be in the middle of a firefight during the Iraq War. And the cast members is so full of stacked of well-started cast. You got Will Poulter, Cosmo Jarvis, who was on a hit show called Shogun, and Joseph Quinn, which you may have known him from Stranger Things, and he was also in A Quiet Place, Day One, and he's also going to be playing Johnny Storm in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie, which I'm very excited to see. Yeah, you got the actor who played Daniel Blake in Daredevil Born Again, and he also played the younger Tony Sopranos in The Many Saints of New York. You got an incredible cast, and you also got Charles Melton, which I haven't seen a lot of his work, but to me, he was one of the standouts of this movie. They made sure that you be in the moment with these Navy SEALs, what they had to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And they make sure they stay authentic in the firefight, making sure they use a single shot take, and especially how they're holding the weapons, and this is very graphic as fuck, and it has impeccable sound designs and action set pieces. And it takes you at least 25 to 30 minutes to build up to that moment when they get into that house and they're on a surveillance mission. They don't really give you an exposition of the backstory with these characters, so you're not going to get a lot of character development with these people, because I think that a lot of people did not, who have lived it, did not want to come forward or give you any of their backstory, because this was not on the news. So they're really just showing you through the eyes of the horror in the middle of warfare. It's really not pretty. It's graphic as fuck. They make sure they suck you right in when all hell breaks loose, especially when something blows up. You're going to be jumping out of your seat when you see this in IMAX. I don't know that this is going to be out in IMAX worldwide when this movie comes out, but for those of you who have experienced it, yeah, they're definitely gonna make you feel that you're in the moment with these characters. And I definitely did care for them, especially when you have two characters who have fucked up their leg in the middle of an explosion when they were trying to get to the extraction point to safety, and you see a couple of them screaming bloody murder. The legs that got all fucked up was very difficult to watch. Movie is made to be more of an experiential event. Reminds me of Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, when that movie was more of an experiential event, when there's no exposition or no character arcs whatsoever. And this is much of a shorter version. And look, a lot of people are going to be a little bit more upset that they didn't give us a lot of character writing, and they didn't know what this movie was for and what was the point of all this. The point of all this is really just giving you a sense of what it feels like when you have to deal with a day-to-day life, when you're doing tours in Iraq or Afghanistan and dealing with a crazy circumstances that just when you're doing one boring mission after another, things can go horribly wrong in the moment like this, and most of them don't even get shown on the news. And you really feel for these platoons and what they had to go through, because this is not fucking pretty. It's fucked up and it's dirty that you don't even want to be in the middle of. And especially when a lot of civilians have had to deal with on a day-to-day life, seeing firefights and explosions and gunfights. It's fucking insane. I love how they were able to craft it. The cinematography is a banger. This is made to be on an IMAX screen for sure. And I believe that this was definitely filmed for IMAX. And you can totally tell that they stay authentic of how the Navy SEALs act. The actors really were put through weapons training in boot camp, and it makes sure that they stay authentic as possible of how they interact with one another. And they did a great job. The standout of this movie was definitely Will Poulter, Cosmo Jarvis, Joseph Quinn, and Charles Melton. They were fucking incredible. Look, I will say that my negatives that I wish they would have gotten a little bit more character development with the Navy SEALs, but I get why. Because when you get to the end of the movie, they show you a little bit of a documentary behind the scenes of the making of the movie, that it's not so heavy on green screens, even though that there are some, but most of the stuff is done practical. And dude, the way that they shot the fucking fighter jet flying through 3 or 4 times in the movie was, whew, the fucking waves coming out. They make you feel it, and it was well crafted. I don't know if that was CG. It might have been. I don't know if they actually did it practical. I could be wrong. But that was really good. And they showed you side by shot comparison to the group of these characters and real life people. Most of them got blurted out. My guess is that most of the people who have lived at those events don't want to be shown and want to be private and don't want to come forward. Maybe one day that they will come forward. Like I said before, I still wish they would have gotten a little bit more development with the group of the characters, but they're not going to throw this old cliche where there's love interest or exposition of the backstory. They just want to jump you right in, and it does take a little time to build up to that point in the first 25 to 30 minutes of the movie. They slowly build up to it, and it just shows you through the eyes of these Navy SEALs and what they had to deal with. Overall, I really enjoy this movie. It's a movie that I would watch only once in the theater. You're not going to learn anything new or different. This is pretty much what you see is what you get type of thing. It's a movie that you would see once and then you never have to see it again. But this is made to be seen in the theater, and you should definitely go see it when it comes out. I wouldn't give this movie an 8 out of 10 for me. It's not a 10 out of 10. There's still things I wish they could have done a little bit more, but I still thought the positives outweigh the negatives. So, have you seen Warfare? Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you know when my videos come up. And if you want to follow my social media links, the link tree will be down in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from, and stay tuned for more of my content.